a lot of women's standard is, I want a guy to pay for the first date. So what does that entail? So let's say you're dating a guy who works construction and he makes $20 an hour, right? And let's say the total for the date is, for the both of you, is 100. I don't think that's unreasonable for a nice dinner with some drinks and a tip. It could even be more. I'm sure all of you have been on a first date where the guy paid more than $100. That's $50 for you, $50 for him. He works $20 an hour. That's 2.5 hours of work. Mm-hmm. So y'all women want a man to labor for 2.5 hours. But if he asks you to do a bow that costs you 3 seconds and is effortless, literally effortless, hold on. It takes 3 seconds to do a bow, you won't do it. But you can demand a man to, using his resources, and let's say he works a construction job and he's getting $20 an hour and he takes you out to a $100 dinner. That's 5 hours of work. I mean, obviously he's paying for himself, but that's 5 hours of work. Y'all can't hit a bow?
I mean, majority of us said we would.
I'm not
I said no, but I would pay for my own
It's
dinner.
on him.
I don't need anybody to pay for me.
That is on him.
Really?
I usually bring my own money. If I'm on a date and say the guy don't want to pay,
No. He wants to pay. But,
but that's
would there
like
be a
him
second
offering.
date if the guy didn't pay?
it doesn't matter. It just depends on the energy and the vibe. If the vibe wasn't good, there's no second date.
Let's say the vibe's good.
Okay.
The vibe's good, but he's like 2 checks. Is there no second date?
What a turn off. What a turn off for a guy
that's a yes.
to do that.
That's a yes.
No, that's a crazy.
It depends on the communication.
What's a turn off?
That's a turn off for a
If
guy
the guy
to pay
says 2
$100 and expects anything from $100 for you to do back. That's a big turn off. Because what about if I get him dinner?
Sex.
So the same way that you were saying for like 2 hours. Right, it takes him 2 hours of work to give you dinner.
To afford it, yeah.
Right, so with my money, what is it for me then? The same thing, no?
What are you talking about?
That's why you should
I'm
have
flipping up the scenario.
Her hours that she makes at her job is being spent on you because she's paying half as well.
Well, that's
the scenario presented was the guy's paying for the dinner.
And then expects me to bow. Because if I was paying for his dinner, I wouldn't expect him to bow. So who's more of a man?
No, you don't expect him to bow, but if you're going on a date with a fucking construction worker that gets paid $20 an hour, he's literally physically laboring so that he can, for hours, so that he can take you on said date.
Okay.
And y'all are not willing to literally, boop.
No.
So as a nurse, I'm paying for his first dinner. I'm doing the same thing. It's labor. It's the same body labor.
Do you pay for first dates?
Sometimes I have before, not mostly, but if he's hot enough.
It's a turn off if he expects something.
Beautiful Brian's shawl is. It's a very beautiful shawl, Brian.
She said it's a turn off if he expects something.
Everything I say goes back and forth. I don't know why it's not that simple.
Yo, Eugene, thank you for the gifted. Hold on. Boom. Eugene, thank you for the gifted 50 memberships. What?
She said it was a turn off if he expects something after paying for the date.
No, I'm not.
That's what she said.
I paid for your dinner.
No,
bow.
I'm trying to articulate a point. Women can have this expectation of men that the man should pay for the first date. Well, what does that actually entail?
Like, what are we offering?
No, that's not the point. Okay.
I got the point though.
If you expect a guy to pay for the first date, that's your expectation on him. What is required for him to take you to $100? The total for the date is $100. If he works makes $20 an hour, he has to work 5 hours. If he's working a construction job, he's physically laboring so he can take you on a date for 5 hours. Well, even being charitable, if we cut in half, it's 2.5 hours of work for him, right? 2.5 hours of physical labor. That's your expectation for men to take you on the first date. But y'all are, I would not do a 3-second bow.
If that was his expectation,
everybody's different.
I'm different.
That's a joke.
No, it's not a transactional thing. Like, I'm taking you on a date, so you have to bow. It's not that. It's just like, you guys have this expectation on men that they should pay for first dates. But if a guy is like, I want you to be submissive, I want you to bow for me, you won't do it.
but that's expectation.
I'll take it even a step further. Y'all, I don't know what y'all's sexual history is. Probably some of you at this table have met a guy and within minutes, hours, have fucked him same night. You've sucked his dick, gave him the pussy, You'll S the D, but you won't hit a bow? You won't do a laundry?
Well, you all said no, but I think Brian phrased this poorly.
I said yes.
He said within a few minutes to a few hours. He's really saying within the same day that you met this person, you slept with him the same day that you met him. So I'm just going to ask this question to the entire panel. If you've ever met a man and within the same day or night of meeting him, you've slept with him, raise your hand.
And it doesn't imply one night stands. You could have continued dating him,
of course.
seeing him. Yeah,
you could have.
Yeah. Show of hands if you've done. Bro, y'all are full of shit.
Wait.
He said,
could you please repeat? Sorry, I zoned out.
Okay. Pay very close attention. The whole panel, pay attention to what I'm actually saying
Pay
here.
attention.
Don't look at the W's on the whatever on the wall and get distracted by the pretty floaty things. Just actually listen to what's being said. Same day you met a guy or same night you met the guy. In the same day or same night that you met this guy, you slept with this guy or did some type of sexual thing with this guy. Show of hands.
Damn, bro, there's a lot of liars at the table.
Totally full of shit.
You're a fucking liar!
Wait, hold on, Christine. You said your body count's 32.
Yeah.
There wasn't one college hookup.
Not that the first time I met them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Not the first day I met them.
He said with that first day.
Never.
That's
Oh
bad.
wait, are we?
Okay, well
Are we
then let
talking
me
about the first?
rephrase. I'll rephrase this a
Fuck.
different way.
Rephrase.
A
You meet them
guy
that day.
who you
and
met within the first 5 days. 5 days you slept with him or done some sexual thing with him. Show of hands. Okay,
No, I don't
so
know.
Bro,
everybody-
Christine.
No, I'm not even joking. I literally have to talk
I need
to
my
someone,
shawl
get to know
back.
them.
I mean,
This
it's
is how I
Christine.
am.
Christine, come on.
I need
Well,
my
I mean,
shawl
yeah.
back.
What
Brian,
college did you go
have
to?
to give her the shawl back, or else,
UT?
I need my
how in the
shawl
world
back.
could she?
I
could she-
need your shawl because I'm cold.
No, I need it for real, please.
I have.
No,
What about-
I
what
feel
about-
uncomfortable.
hang
I
on.
don't want to not wear a shawl. I feel uncomfortable. Please give me my shawl back.
What about Christian ethics? Brian's cold, and you're not going to give your shawl to a cold person?
Listen, this is.
He has a whole hoodie
It's her
on.
property.
You know what? Because
You're such a gentleman.
I will.
He is not a gentleman. I had
That's
to
not
ask him
gentleman.
10
What the
times.
fuck?
Hey, listen, okay? Why don't you steal the. Why don't you get some warmth from the jicama, okay? Why don't you fucking peel that shit, peel the skin and use that as a shawl. Use the jicama shawl.
I tried to eat it. It didn't.
Brian, she's trying to dress conservatively, you
Yes,
jerk.
please. Let me have my shawl back. I've been.
I'm sorry, this is
Can
a.
you just throw it?
Okay, you.
Okay, throw
Trying
it.
to be
But throw
modest.
it
Oh
over
my
gosh.
here. Don't throw it like that.
He's such a
I'll
boy.
pass it to her.
Just a boy, you know.
That was gentle, okay? That was gentle, all right? Chill, calm down. Okay, we have a chat here from.
Brian, you're such a jerk. Brian.
I'm such a.
Such a jerk.
Practicing gentleman, if a woman can expect a free meal on a date and suss out if a man can provide for her, why can't a man have a woman do his laundry or clean some floors to suss out if she can take care of a home?
He can.
This is a great
He can.
argument, gentlemen.
But not on the first date.
On the
Yeah, why
first date.
If she wants
Why
to,
do I
she
gotta be a
will.
provider on the first date? Why do I gotta pay?
Why do you
not
feel
dinner.
uncomfortable about
Just
it?
dinner. It's just a
Hang
bow.
on, hang on.
I will do
hang
the
on.
bow.
I
Let's see.
think
Show us the bow.
Every sin, I
Do the
will-
bow. Show us the bow.
I'm not. No.
Show us the
You haven't
bow.
even taken me to dinner. Wait.
But
You have a boyfriend.
Yeah. No bow for you.
The chatter's making a very good point here. The chatter's making a good point. Let me
Calm
hang
down,
on, let me
lady.
give you the point real quick.
Methany, calm down.
Have you guys
Melanie.
ever been
My
on a
bad.
date with a man and it's the
That's
first
cute.
date and you ask him what he does for a living and essentially you're prying into how much he makes?
Not for you.
Yeah, but they're also asking us the same question.
I agree. They're also asking you the same question.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I'm not disputing
For
it.
sugar mama.
But on a first date, you would agree with me that it's very common that men and women kind of pry into what the other person does and how much they make. That's pretty common, right? You would agree with that, wouldn't you?
Sure.
Yeah, so I mean, if that's the case, if a man is looking for a woman who would be a good kind of housewife, let's say, if you're interested in his money and his occupation, because you want to see if he's a good provider, doesn't it seem reasonable that he tests to see if you're a good homemaker?
On the first date?
Yeah, but if on the first date you're trying to see if he's a good provider, I don't see why you have the moral high ground here.
But I'm not telling him, go make the money in front of me so I will make sure that this is exactly what you're doing.
But it's inferred. It's inferred that you're asking him how much he makes so that you can determine if he's a good provider. Like, that's inferred.
Yeah, absolutely.
The idea,
yeah.
So I mean, if you're like, hey, right, he's paying for the meal and this and that, that's a demonstration that he makes the money he's saying he makes. Why couldn't you demonstrate the same thing in opposition?
Okay, so the reverse thing would be, would you do the laundry in a relationship? Yes, I would. What's your job? This one. How much do you understand that this is the same thing?
I'll tell you why that's wrong. I understand what you're saying. So here, I'll be maximum charitable back. I understand what you're saying. You're saying, look, if I'm just asking this guy what he makes, I'm not literally saying, let me come to your job and make sure you make that amount, right?
Yeah.
That's totally fair. But you are saying, pay for the meal, right? Yeah. Pay for the gas, pay for all that. That is a demonstration.
Okay.
Look at that. I'll fold one piece of laundry.
So if that is the case and he's demonstrating that for you, well, how are you demonstrating back you're a good homemaker?
Okay, so is this your standard? Because most of the men...
No, that's not my question. It has nothing to fucking do with what my standard is. How does the question apply to me?
With that.
Let's assume for a second that I don't care, that I'm asexual and don't give a shit about women, and they mean nothing to me, and I'll spend the rest of my life alone. Has zero to do with the question.
All right.
Literally nothing to do with the question.
All right.
So can you answer the question I asked? You don't even remember it, do you?
I think I would
because you were so
one
busy
piece
going
of
off on a
laundry.
tangent about do you apply this standard to yourself, which has nothing to do with
Nah,
anything,
Andrew, I'm just
that you
wondering.
Don't even remember what I asked.
I'm just wondering, at what point of your life did you even start asking yourself this question? Like, oh, if I'm responsible, oh, you cutting me off again? Oh, you really can't. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
You,
check this out.
Yeah. Okay.
Check this out.
Don't cut me off.
Hang on.
Why should I? You have to hang on because I started talking.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And we'll do
that's
the same
all I
thing we did
asked
last
for.
time, which is you asked me something unrelated.
You're failing.
Go ahead.
Okay, Andrew. So since when did you even start having this concern? Like, okay, if I'm responsible for paying for a dinner for the first date, why shouldn't she show me that she would do my laundry? Like, since when did this even happen in your head? I'm wondering.
Who cares?
Who cares?
Look, I'm going to show you how flawed this line of logic is, right? If there was a big body of water and there was a bridge, would you use the bridge to cross the big body of water?
Yeah. It's such a rhetorical question, of course, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Well, I would use a boat. What does that have to fucking do with anything? So whether or not I apply the standard you have to the standard I have, it has nothing to do with what I'm asking. So instead of deferring and saying, Andrew, when exactly did you apply X, Y, and Z to your life? It has nothing to do with what I'm asking. What I'm asking is, why would it be unreasonable for a man to say to you, if you want to know how much I make because you're trying to pry into whether or not I'd be a good provider, why is it unreasonable for me to ask you if you can wash some fucking socks?
On the first date, okay,
Sure.
This is just out of my... It really is so out of my worldview that I can't even picture some man asking me that. Why wouldn't it be reasonable? That's a good question. Maybe for someone like you especially, it is very reasonable. For me, it's just fucking weird. It's really weird. I do not know what's the problem about just discussing it and making sure that, okay, if we get into the relationship, I can do that.
I mean, for me, you going across the bridge instead of a boat, it's just fucking weird.
Okay.
I mean, does that make any sense, right? But it doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. When you think about it, it doesn't matter if I take the boat and you take the bridge across the body. That has no bearing on anything. Me saying it's weird you take the bridge, it means nothing. So the question here is like, if this guy, if you're asking him this question because you want him to provide, and he's making the demonstration he can provide by paying for the date, and he wants you to be a homemaker. What the fuck is wrong with him asking you if you can clean some socks and you demonstrating it like he's demonstrating for you that he can provide?